Hello, we are live. Welcome to our channel. Oh, my phone's just going off as well. Mark has just gone to get our Starbucks because we've ordered our customary Starbucks, and my mum is calling while I'm doing a live. I'll call you back, mums.
Where are you?
I'm doing a live
Where
now
are you?
in the garden. Look, my
Ah,
mum's on the phone and she's like, "Where are you? Where are you?" I'm like, "In the garden, in the garden." I'll call you back later. There you go. So Mark has gone to get our customary Starbucks. I don't know if you can hear us. Hey Minnie, how are you? Hope you're well. I don't know if you can hear us properly. And obviously I don't have my glasses on, so where are my glasses so I can read some messages? Here we go. Yes, outside is lovely, but do you know what? It would be nicer if we had the sun. So the sun, it's overcast, it's nice and warm because I don't had my cardigan on earlier because it was colder in the house than it was outside. But yeah, I'm sitting outside, it's lovely. It's just not as sunny as it could be. Yesterday we had some really nice sun, and the sun was out earlier on, but it's just getting a bit overcast. But anyway, I digress. How has your week been? Our week's been good. What have I been up to? So I went to dinner twice this week. So I went to dinner on Wednesday and I went to dinner yesterday. Now, um, I went to the Ivy yesterday. I didn't do any filming or anything. Um, but oh, good. I'm glad because we were a bit worried. But Minnie says that yeah, she can hear us well because I was a bit worried being outside and the outside sound. But I hooked up the mic and everything, so I'm just hoping that it's good. So I'm glad that you've confirmed that, Millie. So basically, I went to a restaurant yesterday. I went to the Ivy in Covent Garden. And if any of you know how the Ivy is, it's one of them sort of like, nice restaurants and they've got a nice atmosphere there and everything else. And I've got to say, the food was not all that. I was really disappointed because it was just like mediocre food. I ordered the prawn and monkfish curry, and I thought it was going to be really, tasty and delicious and all of that type of stuff. But unfortunately, no, it was just very mediocre. Like like I could pick up from any other restaurant. And the Ivy is meant to be one of those sorts of, prestigious type, nice restaurant kind of places. And the atmosphere was lovely, and the restaurant itself is really nice. I can't fault the decor, or the staff were very nice. I can't fault the staff or anything like that. Um, it was just the food, really. And it was one of those places that does. Um, they don't do like your average cocktails. It's all, like gins and liqueurs and all of that type of stuff. um but yeah, I mean, it was nice. It's nice to sit down and have a chat and catch up with your friends and everything else. It's just that I wish the food was a little bit more on point, so I was disappointed with that. And then I went to a restaurant not too far from where we live, and I was disappointed with that with the food there. And I ordered starter, main, and dessert. At the Ivy, I just ordered a main. Thank you very much. We've got the customary Starbucks.
hello. So that's where I've been, just cleaning up the cups.
Yeah.
Sorry, you carry on.
No, I was just saying about the. I was testing out the microphone, and Minnie says that it's working well.
Okay.
Minnie has done us another drawing,
Oh,
but
hello,
I
Minnie.
haven't had a chance to show you yet.
Oh, good. I'll have a look at that. No, I've been. Oh, thank you. We decided to go in the garden today, so we're doing the live from the garden. As Kelly's probably already said.
Yeah.
How are you? You good?
But yeah, so I was saying that about our the dinner that I had.
Oh, we had the infamous dinner which you didn't like.
Oh, but that's 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, I know.
So it was like with the first restaurant, the local one. the staff and the restaurant is really nice. The staff are super nice. It was a really nice atmosphere, and I think this was the problem. Like a couple of family members had eaten and said the food was really nice, so I was going with the expectation that it was going to be nice and all of that type of stuff. But what happened was, Minnie says she's good, thanks for asking. So what happened was we went to the restaurant, and my cousin had booked a table inside, but it was so super nice out that when we got there, we got there before my cousin, and not me and my sister, and we got there before my cousin. So I said, do you know what, it's so super nice outside, do you have a table outside? She goes, yeah, we've got plenty of tables outside. I thought, brilliant, let's go. So we sat outside. Now I think the reason why my food maybe didn't come out as well as I'd hoped is because I think that they were concentrating on the people inside. It was so busy inside, and so when they were getting the food ready, I think our servers were concentrating on the people inside because there were so many. I know we've got a spider crawling across our screen.
Now Kelly hates spiders.
No,
so
I get scared.
This spider just crawled
I get scared.
across the top of the screen.
So the thing about it was, so I think they just concentrated. So probably when our food was being done, maybe it was done and it had been left, so they maybe had to reheat it, or maybe they were under heat lamps, because I didn't see inside, so I didn't see how the kitchen worked. But I ordered belly pork. The pork was so tough. It was like I was chewing on a piece of leather. It was so tough. It was just like really chewy, so I didn't enjoy that starter. Then me and my sister-in-law, we decided to share chicken wings. And she didn't like the chicken wings, and I didn't like the chicken wings. I was like, oh no. So now we're 2 for 2. Because we'd ordered two. Well, I'd ordered 2 starters, one starter to share with her. She got the a squid, but she always gets squid, and she enjoyed the squid, so that was okay. Then I ordered a lamb. I wanted to go for something different because I was going to go for Thai green curry, because I really enjoy Thai green curry. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to try something different. So then I ended up having the massaman curry, but the massaman curry is quite mild. So, well, there's no hot spices in it. So I said, oh, could they make it a little bit hot for me? And she said, yeah, no problem. And they did. It was nice. And the lamb itself was quite nice, fell off the bone and everything. But again, I think it may have been reheated. But the flavors of the massaman curry wasn't to my taste. But that might not be the restaurant's fault. That might just be the fact that massaman curry is just not for me, maybe. So I was quite disappointed with that. And then the next thing I had, so they did this trio of dessert, and one of them was supposed to be a salted caramel souffle. So that is what made me choose the trio dessert. So there were 3 mini desserts, and one of them was meant to be this souffle. Anyway, it came out. It looked beautiful. The presentation was lovely. Started eating it and everything. And it was only the next day that I realised there wasn't a souffle on my plate. It was only because I was looking at the other menu for the other restaurant, the Ivy, and it said cheese souffle. But hang on, hang on a second. There should have been a salted caramel souffle on my plate. No, there wasn't. And I didn't even question it because the desserts looked so nice and they tasted nice. There wasn't anything wrong with the desserts. That probably was about the best thing that was on that I had that was on that menu. But it was just disappointing that I didn't. Souffle.
So there you are, Minnie. That's a very long-winded way of saying she didn't like the food.
However, I will give that restaurant another chance, but sit inside rather than sitting outside. I just think that they were busy, and and it was a Wednesday night, and to be busy on a Wednesday night, the restaurant has to be good, right?
Well, we had this discussion before. So basically, we was just saying, now Kelly's very good. If she doesn't like a restaurant or doesn't like the food in one particular day, she will go out and try it again. Me, I'm really bad. If I don't like the food in a restaurant, I have it going once. I don't like it. I will not go back there. But you will. You'll give it a second.
I'll give it a second chance because I feel like, you know, it might have been an off night for the chef, or something could have happened.
Yes, you're too good.
Or whatever.
I just wouldn't bother going back. There's just so many new places to try.
Yeah. But I will give it a second chance. Not anytime soon, but a bit further on, maybe later on in the summertime, or maybe towards the winter. But for me, if the restaurant is full on a Wednesday, that to me shows a good sign. And because a couple of people have been, I'm getting spiders.
Do you know what? What's funny is you'll notice as we're talking, Kelly's flicking. I think there are a lot of midges around here. We got little.
No, that was a spider.
It was a spider.
It was the same spider that was, or not the same one, but a similar one.
Because this is one of the perils of being outside. You may also notice, above us, occasionally you'll see there's some magpies or blackbirds that fly past us. Yeah, our house is just there, and they're nesting in the chimney up there. But we've also in this area, I don't know what I'm just telling you this. I don't know if you're interested at all, but we do have they bred green parrots in the area, and they've just completely taken off. So you occasionally hear parrots squawking, and they are now native to this area, so they do actually live in there. There's a park
not too far,
and they live in the park.
It's lovely to see the sort of like birds and stuff. We've got so much wildlife in the garden, which I quite like. I like that we've got a bush on this side. It's purple bush. The flowers are dying now, because it's as the summer.
You could probably just see it where my finger is there. That's the tail end of it, and there is Kelly's roses.
Yeah.
So if you can just
really, I've done a little bit of a video, so I'll upload that at some point. Yeah, the roses.
See that's one of them, and there's another one there.
A pink one, yeah. So we've got quite a lot of wildlife in the garden, but we've got a lot of bees that are attracted to the purple flowers over there. I really love that. Oh look, there we go.
Yeah, there's one.
And so I saved one the other day. It landed in the grass, and I don't know if bees are supposed to land in the grass or whatever. So Mark had picked some flowers in a vase. Is that another spider?
No. It's not. It's just a bug. It's out.
So I grabbed a flower from the little vase, and I let the bee that was on the grass hop onto the flower, and then I put it onto the other flowers over there, just so that it could be off the ground, because I don't know if they're supposed it looked like it couldn't take off. So I wanted to save it.
Well, funny enough, I'm actually working in our conservatory, which is just over there. You can't see it. And these bees actually come in. So while imagine you're typing away, you'll listen to a meeting. Imagine that's the meeting there. And this bee is going. So I'm thinking, right, I can't move because I've got to concentrate on this, but I'm conscious. And then it disappears. So when the bee disappears, you don't know where it's gone. Is it behind me? Is it on my neck? Is it in there?
Is it going to create another home in the conservatory?
So it does, and then it comes back again. And of course, the thing is with bees, they're really funny as well. When they get stuck in the glass, they just keep headbutting the glass to try and get through.
Yeah, bless them.
So I say, oh God, so I got to grab it, and I don't want to kill it, so then let it out.
Yeah, but we try it, like, if I do see bees or anything like that, sort of like land on the grass or whatever. I think last year it happened again. But last year I got a piece of paper and managed to get it on the piece of paper, because it wasn't even moving. It was, I don't know if it was dead or something, but I grabbed it on a piece of paper and then I put it on the flower. I hope it was alive or just needed.
I think it'll be all right. Actually, funny enough, as I could see as Kelly was preparing out here for our little live, on the seat here, you can't quite see it, on your arm of your chair, it was one of those magpies.
Oh, was it?
And he was just looking around like this. So he's using Kelly's thing as a perch. So there you are. There's our boring tale of our wildlife in the garden. But so what else have we been up to?
I was just telling them how about, I went to that restaurant.
Oh, well, yeah.
Not one restaurant, two restaurants.
Two restaurants, and both bad. How can you believe it? But we are going to do it after this live. We are going to order a takeaway. Probably, we were going to do it before, but you've seen it already, Coco Row. So we're going to go for Coco Row again.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we want to try and do some more restaurants.
Yes.
But it's hard because you're studying and stuff like that. It's hard to sort of try and work around that, because I know you're sort of.
Tomorrow we could go, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for tomorrow, so we're going to try and go to one tomorrow, and we will film.
Yeah. I wanted to film yesterday, but I just I got the food and I was just like, and I went to TGI Fridays. Listen, I don't know what's going on, right, with
Where
all
did
of
you
these.
go?
We went to TGI Fridays before we went to the Ivy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on with all these restaurants, but the other restaurant that I went
Not
to,
3 bad in a row.
I'm telling you, the one that I went to on Wednesday, I wanted to order, you know, like Malibu and pineapple or pina colada or whatever. They didn't have any of that. They didn't have this, they didn't have that, they didn't have that, they didn't have this. I was like, right, cool. Went to TGI Fridays. Well, they've revamped the drinks menu and it's just basic, you know, mixers and things like that. And again,
disaster.
couldn't get no pineapple, couldn't get no strawberry, couldn't get nothing. I was like, oh my god, I was so shocked because TGI Fridays is well known for cocktails.
So what, they've just completely, you didn't tell me about this actually, but they've just completely got rid of all the mixers.
They're doing little things like mojitos and things like that, but nothing like what they were doing before.
Oh.
So I was so shocked. And then we ended up at the Ivy, and you know, the Ivy is a little bit of like a la-di-da restaurant where, you know, they only do, you know, like speakeasy type drinks like gins liqueurs and
neat
this and old fashioned and all of that. You probably won't know what these drinks are, but yeah, just was like, right, okay, which I didn't mind, right, because I know I know what the Ivy is and I know what the type of restaurant it is. But it was the food that we were going for, not drink. But, well, not me. I mean, the others wanted to drink and stuff. But for me, I was actually going for the food because the Ivy is the Ivy. And I was thoroughly disappointed.
No, I know. Well, I've got to say, I was quite surprised about that because Kelly went with her friends. I didn't go to this one. And I thought because the Ivy's got such a good reputation. So I was very shocked when you told me it was the food was bad.
But do you know what I think?
Well, not bad, but not to the standard.
It was just mediocre. Yeah. What I think is sometimes somebody well known within the industry, somebody maybe, you know, we wouldn't know, let's say. So somebody like a famous person has put some money in a restaurant or has decided to open a restaurant. And I think they get several people to come to the restaurant to sort of like market it, publicize it or whatever. And all these people go and they help out with the publication and the marketing of it. Then they go off to the real restaurants, and then it's us plebs.
Really?
That go to these restaurants thinking, oh well, these are like some well-to-do posh restaurants.
I don't think it's so much that. I think because the thing is, they are saying that as well. Restaurants where they're struggling is the fact that people do multi-book, so they'll book 5 restaurants in an evening, go to one of them, and then cancel the other 4, and because that really affects the restaurant trade.
Well, no, because but these days you have to leave your card.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's how they got around it. Yeah, because that's what restaurants were complaining about. So anyway, that's Kelly's forte into some bad restaurants as well. I mean, that is unlucky. You have to say, go into 3 different restaurants and all of them being poor. I didn't realise you went to TGI.
I went to TGI's, yeah.
But you went for drinks or not food?
We went for drinks. We did have like the sesame starter, and that was really quite nice. And I did want to film, but because I was with my friends, I didn't know how, like with some friends, they're quite comfortable with you filming, and then other friends aren't comfortable with you filming. And I know there's one girl there, and she's not that comfortable with me filming. Well, not me, but just filming in general.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, not everybody. So, some people just go out, relax. I mean,
exactly.
We will do it, obviously, because we want you guys to see what we have.
Exactly.
But like I said, when you go with your friends, some of them just don't want to be filmed.
Yeah. So,
anyway, sorry.
So that's why I didn't really film the Ivy. But I will. Do you know what? Maybe I will go again. Not to that one because that one was raw. But I will go to another Ivy because there is another Ivy that I want to try, and that one I will film because maybe I'll go with you or something. And
we'll try every Ivy in the London.
Could you imagine? I'll go to that Ivy and then I will film that one because we'll go together.
All right.
And then we'll film it.
Yeah, I'm not.
But they do vegetarian food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do. But you know what I had? I had what you would have had, which is a monkfish and prawn curry.
But you said it was horrible.
I didn't say it was horrible. I said it was mediocre.
Yeah, you're not selling it for me.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they do food that you would eat.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's
is
not
what I'm saying.
Do you like the fact that Kelly just goes? He goes, yeah, I went to. They were terrible, but we'll go next time.
But do you know what it is? Because with Mark,
Great.
he likes the portion sizes, so he's not really concerned
Oh,
with.
I'll tell you a funny story in a minute. Go on, carry on.
Go on, no, tell the
Sorry,
story.
I've got to say because it just while it's in my head. So today at work, as I always say to my team, what are you guys doing for the weekend? I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah blah blah. And they said, what are you doing, Mark? And I said, well, I might actually go to a restaurant, a buffet restaurant in central London. This is one that Kelly was thinking of doing. And one of my team members turned to me and go, can I ask you something? Yeah, I said, he said, if the restaurant's not buffet, do you not go? Do you refuse to go? Because they just think all I have is buffet restaurant. Every time I talk about a restaurant, it's to a buffet, and I go, oh, buffet.
Yeah, but that's all you really want to do, though, isn't it?
But do you know what?
In all honesty.
Well, it's not that. Do you know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what it is. I've got a big appetite, and there's nothing annoys me more when I pay like £40 to £50 for a meal. The plate comes, there's nothing on here, is there? The plate will come, and there's this tiny little bit in the middle that you paid £30-40. I go, oh, gone. I'm still hungry, and I'm sitting there like this, waiting for the next course. I want to be able to go. Now, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. You've got to be able to have times. This is true, and you want to go. You don't always want quantity over quality. But for me, I really annoys you when I paid that amount of money and I leave the restaurant still hungry. That is my thing.
But that's not the only. What slightly annoys me is that I will spend, I don't know, an hour and a half or 2 hours cooking a meal, and Mark inhales it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I do that.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie.
I just feel like I've spent all that time cooking, and he eats it in 5 minutes. So you can imagine going to a restaurant.
I'm like a Hoover.
Where and they're doing a normal portion size for a normal person. Now, now I don't cook enough for one person. I cook enough for 4 people or 5 people, and the portion size that I eat is very small. Mark will tell you, my portion size is very small, but Mark will then eat enough for 4 or 5 people. So it's not a reality that when you go to a restaurant, they're going to give you a portion size for 4 or 5 people.
No, that I'll tell you what, like that I accept. I accept the fact that you're not going to get the massive.
Yeah.
Portion. However, I want it with some of the restaurants we go to, and admittedly, you've got to admit the portion sizes are absolutely minuscule for what you pay for it.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I know they cook it in butter. It's all freshly prepared. It's blah blah blah. Chef was good. Blah blah blah. But what I don't like is that I would rather pay for something that's going to be substantial that I'm going to like. There's something that's one mouthful and gone.
No, I you see that's the thing, because our goals are different.
Yeah, this is true. Now I want to see what Minnie says, because Minnie just responded here. So I feel as long as it's good and they give you good portions, then it's worth it. But it's good if they don't have small portions, and that's silly prices. The price is higher. Yeah, exactly.
Because my mum is going to a French restaurant.
Thank you, Minnie.
And it's a French restaurant that I've been to many times. I've taken Mark there. It's Cote.
Oh God, yeah. That's you know what that.
No, hold on a second.
Sorry,
hold on. Let me.
That's exactly where I was thinking.
Let me speak.
But I'll let you speak.
So, mum. So my mum's going and all of this, and she says, "How's the food?" I said, "The food's very nice. However, the portion sizes aren't like massive." And I said, with Mark, he will. But the thing is, because you don't eat meat, this is the problem. Mark eats fish. Now, when whichever restaurants you go to, you will never receive a large portion of fish. Fish is very expensive wherever you go. It's like if you were going for steak, right? But with steak, they weigh it and all of that, and they will charge you by whatever the weight is or whatever,
price.
right? But the fish is the same, right? So you have to determine how much do you want to spend on fish, right? Well, because fish is very expensive. Okay. So fish is like if you were ordering a piece of steak. So you have to think, how much money do I want to spend on fish? Because when I buy fish, when I buy for Mark, I will buy half a side of salmon, or I'll buy a whole side of salmon. But Mark will finish it in one sitting, right? But but so where I would spend, I don't know, let's say £15, which is what I don't even know how much that would be in Canadian money, or I don't know how much would it be in US money.
US would be £15 would be roughly about $19 to $20.
Yeah, something like that, right? So for a piece of fish that's about, yay size, you're paying whatever. But you know, you will then prepare it and cook it and whatever in your own spices, the way that you would do it or whatever. But when you go to a restaurant, if you're ordering a fish for this size, it's normally for 4 people, right? But Mark is going to eat that by himself. So you can't go to a restaurant and expect to pay a certain amount of money.
No. Because I agree with Minnie's point. Minnie was saying it's just not about. I mean, obviously, I don't expect to get a fish that big. You're not going to get it in the restaurant, but there are certain foods that can do so. What annoys me is the fact that, for example, with Coke, which is the restaurant you just said, yes, you do get a small portion of fish, but nothing comes with it. So it will come on this tiny bed of mash. There's no vegetables. There's no chips. There's nothing that comes with it. And I think that's my point. I think what I would like for £20 or $25, $30, I expect a compliment with that, as long with the fish.
Yeah, but that, I feel, if you think you want to spend $20 or well, let's say £20, right, which is probably about $25 or whatever, you cannot expect good quality food for £20. It's not going to happen.
Well, you can in certain places, but go on.
When you go to the Ned, did you spend £20?
No, but that's
you
different.
Didn't.
That's a high quality buffet. And
Right.
That's different.
Right.
That is different.
But you cannot. There is nowhere in London in a good quality restaurant where you will spend £20. There's nowhere.
No. I'm not just saying that. That was just an example.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying to you as well. I mean, there are places you can. So, for example.
Okay.
Or hang on, Minnie said here for Canadian currency to pounds, it's 172. Right. Okay. So nearly
2 Canadian.
Nearly 2. Yeah. So
dollars per pound, so almost double.
Yeah. So if we're looking at then, let's say then, so Minnie for 2. So this is it. So Kelly will take me to someone like Cote. I'll get a tiny bit of fish. Hang on.
For the whole meal, it'll be about £60.
Yeah.
Right, for yours and mine. That is starter, main, and dessert. Because the set menu is £20.
Which is about 100 Canadian dollars, 110 maybe Canadian dollars.
Right. But Mark normally goes for the set meal. And the set meal is either a 3-course meal or a 2-course meal. Now the 2-course meal is about, I'll have to look it up, but it's roughly about 15, maybe £20. So you're talking about what, $40, $35, $40?
Yeah.
For 20, each. Yeah. So that's each. Now my point is, I will eat meat. So when I might have steak and chips. Now it might be a very thin piece of steak with some chips, but it's steak and chips. And then you have your starter and you have your dessert. Now to me, that is very reasonable. If you go to Europe, it's exactly the same. You'll have 3 courses for £20, which would be about just under 40 Canadian dollars.
About 35 Canadian dollars each.
Right. So to me, when you go to Europe and it's reasonable. When you go to, now Mark is comparing it to when we go to maybe somewhere like the States, where you can go to a buffet for that amount of money, but the quality of the buffet is not the same quality as a restaurant.
Now you're probably worked out now. Oh, hang on, there we are. £60 is 102.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
98.
But yeah.
So we would it depends if we don't go for a set menu. Normally, when we go out to eat, we normally spend about £60. Where pretty much wherever we go to eat. It's only in the higher end restaurants like the Ned, if you watch that video, because that worked out to be £168. So what would that be in Canadian dollars? Goodness! When I think about the Canadian dollars, how much that's going to be in Canadian dollars? Because £168 it would be what then?
Oh gosh,
200 something dollars.
Yeah, probably 200. I'm guessing about 230. I reckon.
Yeah, so that's how much it costs to go to the Ned. So the Ned is very expensive. However, Mark was able to have all the lobster and all the oysters that he could eat in 2 hours.
Put it this way, Minnie, I may have paid 230, but I ate about 400. But I think for me, the bottom line for me is that Minnie says I've paid 102 Canadian dollars, and at the end of it, I'm still hungry.
Yeah,
that's my gripe.
Yeah, And I do understand that, but London is very expensive.
Yeah, it is. That is true.
Right, it's very expensive to eat in London, so you cannot expect, and there's not that many buffets, right? There's not that many places you can go that is all you can eat, and if they are, it's normally a Chinese buffet, and I don't always want to. First of all, I'm not that fond of buffets anyway. I don't mind going. I like going to them once in a while, as you know, and I do like going to a buffet once in a while. I like to go to a buffet breakfast. I like to go to a buffet brunch, or whatever. But the food has to be on point. I'm not really into going to the buffet where the food is.
As you can see, I'm a bit of a philistine. I'm not.
Look, 160, $288.
Oh, it's as much as that. Wow. So that's how much it was.
But you know, when I was in Toronto, but we're talking a very, very long time ago, it was expensive in Toronto. But again, I feel in every city is expensive. Whatever city you go to is expensive.
Minnie's looking at us going, how much did you spend? Do you know what though, Ashraf, to be fair, as you can see, I'm not a connoisseur of food. I just, like I said, I go out for my enjoyment is being able to feel that I've had my share. And
I'm not a connoisseur of food.
You're more than me.
But I want the taste to be, you know, I want it to be flavorful. I want it to be seasoned nicely. I want it to be cooked nicely. You know, I think if you're going out and you're paying for something, that is what you want. For me, I mean, when we go to Côte is not nouvelle cuisine, right? It's just it's a restaurant that cooks the food in, like Mark says, in butter or garlic, or it's cooked in a certain way. So when you go to these French restaurants, it's nice, but it's not nouvelle cuisine. Now, nouvelle cuisine is very different, because now you're talking about a square of this with a stretch of that.
What is the
and
point?
This and blah blah blah.
Oh, now Minnie said actually, now downtown is more expensive than it is in the mall. Well, near where she lives, but that's how it is in most places anyway. No, that is true actually. I want to get rid of the spiders. Yeah, that is absolutely true. So, Minnie, what would you prefer to do? Just out of interest, would you prefer to go to the mall, have something to eat there, quick, or do you prefer going downtown, getting something in a restaurant, or do you prefer takeaway? What would be your preference if you had a choice? You were given a choice.
Yeah.
So, like for us, as Kelly said, you would go more upmarket. That would be your.
It depends, no, because I've been to some. I went to the Ivy. I was very disappointed.
There you go. But also, you've just proved my point.
Yeah.
You've gone and spent all that money for food you didn't like.
Yeah, because it costs. At the end of the meal, we paid £43. I think we paid, right? And all I had was a main. I didn't even have dessert. I had a main, but the girls were drinking, and I might have had one drink, and it wasn't very. And that drink wasn't very. That drink wasn't very nice.
No.
But the girls had prosecco and things like that. So, but by the time we split the bill, for I had paid £43, and I feel like I should have enjoyed that monkfish and don't get me wrong, because monkfish and prawns and things like that is going to be expensive. It wasn't too pricey, because I think it came up to like £20 or something like that. But by the time you added on the drinks. Now, I think I had one drink. Yeah, I had one alcoholic drink, and then the girls had a bottle of Prosecco, and then somebody had rum or whatever, and somebody had a limoncello and all of this type of stuff. I'm not a very big drinker. I don't mind having a drink or whatever, but I'm not a very big...
Well, do you know, I was going to say, sorry, Kelly, there. That's actually a really good point. So Kelly and I, when we go to a restaurant, it's more for the food, but I do know some of your friends go more for the booze. They go more for drink because they want to have that and that whole experience. The whole experience
of the food and the drink and all that type of stuff.
So, Minnie, so I just very quickly said, I will go to the mall only if I was there. So I see, so you're only going to eat there if you're there. If you wouldn't go out your way to go. For a celebration supper, I would go downtown.
Yeah.
And for home weekends, I would say takeaway food. Right. Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is it depends on your situation. If you're there, you'll go.
Yeah. But this it's what we do pretty much.
Yeah. You're the same as us.
You're exactly the same as us.
Exactly the same as us.
So if we're if we're in, you know, We go to you call it a mall, we call it like a shopping centre. So if we were down at the shopping centre, we would eat out. I can't remember I can't remember the last time we ate in the shopping centre.
Of course, because of COVID.
Because of COVID and things like that.
And these places aren't open.
A lot of the inside place, because when you're in a shopping centre, obviously it's all inside, so nothing was open. And then but there are a couple of outside restaurants. What happened was, so attached to the shopping centre or attached to the mall, there was a row of restaurants. They've all closed except for one, Wagamama's. Now, I have a suspicion, because it's outside, although it's connected to the mall, it's the outside part of the mall. And because you're in the mall, nobody really goes to the outside part. So I think that's why but everybody loves Wagamama's.
Yeah, well, actually,
it's always packed.
Funny enough, there was a chain there that never ever opened. They bought the lot, they put everything there, and it's called Lover Slice. Now,
Project Pie.
Project Pie, sorry, not Lover Slice, Project Pie. I don't know if you have Project Pie in Canada. I know it's an American company. But we did see it in the States when we were there.
I don't remember seeing it in the States.
I'm sure I saw it. I'm pretty sure.
We spoke to a taxi driver, a cab driver.
Oh yeah, and he said that it's come over to the United States.
Yeah, he said that his friend had opened it in the States and then brought it over to here, but it actually never opened.
No, it never opened. They did the whole restaurant ready to go, but it never ever opened. I don't know what happened, but that was Project Pie. And I think the concept of it was, anyone Americans watching can correct me, but you'd order your slice. By the time you got round the till, it's already cooked for you.
Yeah, so basically you go, I'm assuming they already had the base ready. So then you go and order your toppings and all of this, you go along, they do whatever. And then by the time you get to the counter, your pizza would already be done. So I think people were saying that it only takes a minute and a half.
Like microwave it?
No, because apparently to cook it, it only takes, because you're doing it in that hot
incredibly
oven.
high temperatures. I suppose it's like Subway for pizza. You go along, you have what you want, and
then by the end of it, you just
cook it.
But as you're paying for it, they've already sort of like cooked it and everything else. Yeah. God, I haven't had Subway in ages.
Actually, there's one open near us.
Yeah, but it's been there for ages. But
they fly. They're just flying overhead. And he's on the roof now. Look, there he is. So there you go, plane overhead. There is one nearby, but again, like you, I've not had one for an ages before. I think it's one of those things. If we're going to do takeout, sandwiches is not something you take out.
No, but you did have some when we went to Florida. You had one when we.
Oh yeah, that was never. I was hungry, so I just popped in and got one.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of places were closed, wasn't it? And that actually was one of the places that was open, so you popped in there and got
it's a bit of a faff. There's other better places to eat on the way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Subway, but if you're going to have food, you might as well have cooked food, I say.
I love Panda Express. Then we don't have it here, but I love Panda Express.
Don't we? I'm sure I see. Or maybe I'm getting mixed up with US.
No.
Oh, I told you though, Popeyes is coming.
Ah. I didn't know Popeye, but I think I've only had Popeyes once, I think.
That's your brother's favourite. He likes Popeyes.
Does he?
Yeah, they had it when we did the stop off in Mauritius in Turkey.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, there was a Popeyes there. They went for a Popeyes.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
So that's supposed to be coming to the UK very soon. I think I mentioned that in the live before, but yeah, that's what's supposed to be happening.
Oh, I'd love it if they had a Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, yeah.
I love Cheesecake Factory.
We do.
I love Cheesecake Factory.
Millie, do you have Cheesecake Factory in Canada?
Love it. Do you have it and have you been? But you know what? It's not their cheesecakes I love, funnily enough, it's the food.
Yeah, I told you, didn't I? Near us, there is a bakery, and it does all things like crepes and it does waffles. And I remember saying to Kelly, in the window, it had a logo for Cheesecake Factory. So I thought, oh my God, I was going for a walk. This is a while ago, and I thought there's a Cheesecake Factory in the UK. So I told you about it, but I went in there, but it's not the same. I think what they've done, and I'm not going to mention the name in case for legal reasons, but what they've done is they've got a Cheesecake Factory sticker, and then they've made their own version of it. And then there's so many midgies and bugs. They've done their own version of it and stuck it in on the wall. Yeah. So I'm not sure. What's Minnie said? I think we do. I haven't been, but my cousins and aunt and uncle have been before, if I'm not mistaken.
If you get a chance, I recommend it. You had the blackened fish. No, catfish. Catfish.
That was really good.
And he really likes the catfish. And oh God, I have so many dishes there, and I can't even
Oh,
think.
the chocolate bread is the best, though, isn't it?
Yes,
The
and
chocolate
it's
bread.
not chocolate bread; it's just bread.
I just call it chocolate
He
bread.
calls it chocolate bread. It does look dark, but
Well,
it's so nice.
I told you on YouTube, I found some woman had said that she reckons she's cracked the recipe, and she puts chocolate in it, molasses, and coffee, and that's. I had a go at it, but I completely messed it up. But
yeah,
well,
but
I might
it's
have to
not.
give that another go. I keep saying I'm
Yeah,
going to give that another
but
go.
maybe look, because you could try all different recipes.
Yeah.
I wonder if there might be a cookbook out.
No, I don't think they would. I think they don't want to reveal that recipe.
I don't know, because Wagamama's
do,
Wagamama's got cookbook out.
I think they work on the premise that you're never going to be able to replicate it, so they'll tell you the recipe.
Yeah, possibly,
I
but
think so.
yeah, I don't know. But Wagamama's used to do these range of sauces, right? And they did a teriyaki one. Oh, that was so good. They've discontinued it, but maybe that is because people were cooking things at home. And then they won't go to Wagamama's.
Oh, I don't know though. It's difficult to replicate it. I'll tell you, Wagamama's actually do really good breakfast. Remember we used to when we used to fly to the United States. There is a Wagamama's in is it Gatwick or Heathrow? It's Gatwick, isn't it?
I think it's at both.
Is it at both?
And
we'd always make a point, because we'd have a really early flight. So this will be about 6 a.m. We're in the airport, and we'd always have a point of having the breakfast on the way there. That was good.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Actually.
That's the beginning of my holiday.
Yeah, that's your favourite bit.
When we go, my favourite bit of a holiday is when you're going to have breakfast at the airport, because then it's the beginning of the whole experience that you're going to be going on holiday and all of this. Your favourite is when we land.
No, I'll tell you my favourite part of the holiday. My favourite part of the holiday is because I don't like the travel. So when all that's done, you arrive at your hotel, you've checked in, everything, and it's when you actually go into your room for the first time with all your luggage. That's my favourite bit of the holiday, because you've got that whole holiday ahead of you.
Yeah, see, for me, the experience begins when we're having breakfast, and I think, oh my God, we're going to go on a holiday. It's going to be so nice. And
now everyone's looking at us like we're really weird, because we're not actually mentioning the holiday at all. So what do you guys, Minnie? Anybody else? What's your favorite part of any holiday? Is it the travel? Is it the getting there? It might even be the best part is that you wake up and you know you're going to go. So it might even be before the travel starts.
Yeah, before even the travel starts. Yeah.
Exactly. Or is it you're on the plane or the car or however you travel? Or is it the fact that it's midway through the holiday, so halfway through?
Minnie goes, I like doing that too. The first entrance into the hotel
room. There you are. Minnie. You know it.
See, because I just think to myself, oh my God, the whole experience is going to begin. And like you're sitting down, you're having breakfast, and you just think, that's when I think,
No, I don't know what.
That's when I relax. Yeah, because in the morning it's a little bit of a rush, and you're panicking, and you're thinking, have I switched this off? Have I switched that off? Have I got this? Have I got that? So the getting up early, because like we'll get up, like if our flight is like an early morning flight, we sort of like get up at 3.
Yeah.
Like
it will be early.
3 or 4 o'clock. Have a shower, everything else, get ready. I've normally packed everything the night before. I pack 1 week before, so as I'm walking past my suitcase, I chuck something in, I go about my business. Then I chuck something else in, go about my business. Chuck something else in, go about my business. So it takes me a week. Like a lot of people pack the night before. I'll be what? I'd panic.
I know there's people I know that they do that. They pack the night before. I just think
I can't understand it, because I think to myself, I would be forever thinking on the plane, have I forgot this? Have I got that? Have I got this? Have I forgot that? There was one time I did forget. Oh my God.
Oh God, I'll never forget this. Go on.
We were going to was it Paris or was it Brussels?
We were going to Brussels.
Oh my God. And so we were
No, it was Lanzarote.
No. Because you had to go on the train. So what happened
I was thinking about another time with your money.
No, that was something else.
That was Lanzarote.
No, was it? Anyway, so we went to work. We went to work. Half day off work. We were going to catch the train to Paris, I think it was, or to Brussels. And so I was on my way. I met Mark and we got there. Anyway, we were chit-chatting. And then
just to put it in context for those. So basically, we'd already gone to work. So the idea is it's too late then for us to go back home.
Right.
So, and we were going to get the Eurostar from King's Cross. So we both work relatively close to King's Cross. So we go to work, we meet at King's Cross, We get the Eurostar then over to Brussels. So
Right,
that's
it
how
was Brussels or Paris. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It might have been
No,
Brussels. No, it was Brussels. It was
it's
Brussels.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I get there, and anyway, we're queuing up. We were just about to queue up, and I thought, oh my god, I haven't got my passport. And then Mark looked at me, and I said to Mark,
so mad.
do you have my passport? He's like, no. I was like, oh my god. So what happened was, I went into the sort of bureau place, and I said, look, I haven't got my passport. I said, what time is the next train? And she said the next one, which was the last one, is at this time. It's going to cost, I think, £80 to change over the tickets. I said, right, let's change over the tickets. I sent Mark. Mark ran and caught the train.
Let me tell from the story here. So from my perspective, so I had to run to get the train back to our house here, and it was it was all time. I had to run to there, run into the house, grab the passport. I had to run back, and at the timing, the train for me to get back to be in time was about 10 minutes. So it's it's about a 10-minute drive away. So Kelly's mum had to drive me there. I had to run over to get the train, and I got it just in time.
So Mark ran off. I paid the woman to change over the tickets. Now, what I did on my side, so Mark ran and got the train. I worked out, I thought, right, by the time he gets off the train and goes to get the passport, he is not going to have time to catch the train back, right? Because the train was going to be, I think, 5 minutes. He would have only had 5 minutes to run in the house, get the passport, and get to the train. So it wasn't going to happen. So I called my mum. I was like, Mum, Mark is coming home. Meet him and then drive to the other station.
Oh yeah, that was right.
Right.
Yeah.
So while he was doing that, he didn't know what was going on. So I called my mum. I said, right, Mum, meet Mark at the house. Once you get to the house, then he's going to drive. Then you're going to need to take him to the other station, and then from that one, I could only pray that he was going to be able to, because the other station is further away, so it adds more minutes.
Hello, Coco. Sorry, Coco said hi.
Hi, Coco.
And Minnie's done a lot of comments, so we'll go to Minnie. We'll get to your comments then.
So then after that, she got to that. So she came to the house. While Mark was doing that, I rang Mark. I said, listen, you're gonna miss that train. Mum is going to pick you up. She's going to take you to the other station. So he ran in the house, got the passport. Mum drove him to the other station. I had to wait. Then I thought, you know what? Let me start getting in the queue, so I explained to the lady, I said, look, my partner's gone. He's gone to get my passport. Can I stand in the queue? She goes, yeah, just stand there. So he came, he ran. We just caught that train in time, right? We ran. I was so panicking because we rushed through and all of these. It was crazy, but that was the last train, the last one.
Luckily, I'm relatively fit.
Yeah.
We planned it so I wouldn't have to do loads of, we'd take it nice and chill. But at the end of it, I had to run. I must have run about 2 miles.
Good God.
Right, then let's catch up on our messages. So, going back to what we were saying about your favorite part of a holiday. So Minnie said, I like doing that too. The first entrance into the hotel room. Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite bit. I don't like leading up to the airport because one is a bit of a rush. 2, I'm a nervous flyer. So am I actually. I'll talk about flying in a minute. Because I'm nervous flyer, I can't sleep on the evening before.
Yeah.
My family likes getting early flights. So
so do I.
Kelly. But I do like making packing lists. Love doing that and like being organised like that. You're just like Kelly.
Yeah.
Yes, Coco. So we are.
Hey, Sienna.
Hello, Sienna. Yeah, we're good, thank you. How are you? How are things, Coco? You good? We were just talking about holidays.
Holidays, yeah.
Kelly was telling me at the time that she forgot her passport.
Yeah.
So I have to run back to the house, get it, and we're a long way actually from the Eurostar. So
yeah.
It is
yeah. But I mean, it was good. It was good, and we got there later than I wanted, or than we wanted. But but you know what? There's been times when we were, I think we were flying to. So we had to take United one time. I can't remember where we were flying to. I can't remember if we were flying to New York or whether we were flying to Florida. But we took United Airlines. And I chose an earlier flight so we could because the earlier you go, the more you can maximize your holiday. So I had chosen an early flight, and then when it came to the change, when we had to change flights, put us on a later flight because something happened. They'd overbooked on the flight or whatever it was, so we couldn't get on that plane. And I went up to the woman and I said, but hang on a second, I chose that flight. Now we're going to get there later than what we had planned.
Well, it's just one of those things you can't legislate for. Funny enough, a friend of mine always said that when you go on a trip, if you think about it, regardless of anything else, there's only 3 things you really need. If you're going abroad, you need your passport, you need your money, and then what was the other thing he said? Oh, and your insurance. That's all you need. The rest, even if you forgot your luggage, you can buy luggage, you can buy clothes out there, but you need those 3 things. So as long as you get those 3 things, you'll be fine. Oh, somebody's having KFC.
I nearly had KFC today.
Yes, you did.
Minnie said that's her worst nightmare for getting my passport. Do you know what?
It was my worst nightmare, her forgetting her passport.
I've only ever forgotten my passport twice, right? That was one time, and I can't remember the reason why I forgot the passport, but there was a reason why I hadn't packed it, and I can't remember. I think I got distracted or whatever. But one time, I used to live with my gran. It was closer to London, and my family live a bit. We all live in London, but we live in certain zones, and my family live in a further zone. So we were going to Paris, I think. We were going, or where were we going? We were only going for a day trip. We weren't going to Paris. We were just going to do some shopping at Calais or somewhere like that. So we were only going for a day trip. Anyway, my parents came and they came to pick me up, and we were on our way driving down, and we were just chit-chatting and was like, oh my God, I forgot my passport. Oh my God. They were so mad. They were so mad. We had to turn around. I had to go and get my passport. But luckily, we were only about half an hour away, sort of thing. But, you know, well, not even half an hour, probably about 20 minutes. We were already, you know, into the trip. And then we had to turn around. I had to come run, get my passport and all of that. Luckily for me, you know what? I'm very good. I always keep my passport in the same place. Because, you know, some people, like with Mark, so he wouldn't know where his passport is now.
Yeah, but I've never forgotten mine.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, do you know where it is right now?
Well, it's actually expired, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
but yeah, I do know where it is. Yeah,
because I keep mine in the same place. Mark doesn't keep anything in any type of same place at all.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I'm the one that's never forgotten my passport. So, Sienna, what KFC are you having? What you got there? Have you got some chicken wings, or have you gone for drumstick?
No, she goes. I think you like the wrap, isn't it?
You go for the wrap.
I think they get the wrap.
So, Coco, tell us about holiday. What's your favourite part of the holiday? Do you have a favourite part of the holiday? So, what we were saying, I don't know if you were there in the earlier part, but Kelly was saying her favourite part is when you have the meal before you go on holiday.
Yeah.
I was saying my favourite part is when once you've landed, you've got to the hotel room, then you open the door and then you're in. Because that to me is the signal for your new holiday.
Yes. Where's the best place you've been?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. That's a very good question.
Yeah, where's the best place you've been?
Or to anybody.
Really. To anyone.
What's been your best trip? So not necessarily the best holiday per se, but where's the best place you've been to, or your favourite place to go? So, like I said, we always have a favourite place at Lanzarote. We love going there, but we also love Florida and Vegas. Actually, for your question, what's the best place? If somebody said to you tomorrow, I'm going to book you a trip anywhere you want to go, based upon the knowledge that you've had, what was the best place you would say you've been?
I've got different places, but
if you're pressed to one, so you remember you're allowed to pick one. So
if I was pressed for one, it would be Florida.
Okay, that would be your one.
That would be my one if I was pressed for one, because there's so much to do, different things. If you're talking to me about the best city, I have 2. Toronto and Barcelona.
Oh, I've never been to Barcelona.
Yeah, I loved both of those. And I feel like with Toronto, I feel like it's so civilized. It's just nice. The people are nice, and it's just a nice place to be. And I find that with Barcelona, again, it's just, you know, it's hot. They have these like little gardens in places, and you can just go and walk around. It's just so nice. The city's just so nice. And yeah, I like both of those cities, and I could be on my own in both of those cities.
Okay.
Like it's not one of those cities where you feel like you need to go with a friend or you need to go with someone. Or I could quite comfortably sit down in a restaurant, watch the world go by, have a nice drink, you know, whether I have a hot chocolate or a, you know, cup of tea or something, and just, yeah.
Well, somebody, and that somebody being Minnie, agrees. I would have to say Florida, because you went for the theme parks, but my family loves going to Cuba. Oh, that's
wow.
interesting. I've been there so many times, and it's so nice, relaxing place. You know, I've never been to Cuba. I'd love to go to Cuba.
Yeah, I mean,
I've not done the Caribbean at all, so I'd really love to do
yeah,
Cuba.
I don't know whereabouts in Cuba I'd like.
Your sister-in-law's done Jamaica many times, hasn't she? So, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We've never done Cuba.
Yeah.
What is it about Cuba you like? Is it just the fact that it's hot, relaxing, the people nice? I've seen documentaries on Cuba, and the people look absolutely really, really nice, really friendly, fantastic, and it just looks a really relaxed place. But yeah, Florida, like I said, we're really big Florida fans. If you've seen our Florida videos, you can see we love the Florida trip.
I just like places where you have a bit of everything to do. So but when I say everything to do, I mean something like, you know, like if you go to a city, you're normally just going to look at the sights or whatever. But what I like about Florida, and I suppose Vegas as well, is that you have the theme parks and you can go to the theme parks, but also you can go to the shopping malls and check out the shopping malls. You can also go to the outlets and check out the outlets. You can go up and down, like if you're on International Drive, and if you're staying at the Point Orlando end, you know, you've got the cinemas there, you've got the restaurants there. So there's so many things, little points to do, I think.
Well, we've got another little question which has popped in there. With Sienna was saying, what did we eat today? Well, actually, somebody had McDonald's. Okay, so Sienna, Auntie Kelly had McDonald's.
Yeah.
I had well, nothing exciting actually. We're going to actually order some more food after this, actually,
Yeah.
because I can't be bothered to cook. How's your KFC, by the way? How is your KFC? Right, Minnie said, when you came to Toronto, did you go to Center Island? It's a nice area, and
you can take the ferry,
yeah,
to get there. Yes, I did actually. Also,
it's fun, relaxing time, like a relaxing vacation. Do you know what? Sometimes that's the best holiday to have, that fun, relaxing time.
Yeah.
I think by the fun, relaxing thing, you're talking. Oh, for Cuba, we go to the beach just for a fun vacation and chill spot.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's why we go to Lanzarote. There's not, because there isn't lots and lots to do. Sometimes that's nice because it forces you to rest.
I think when I went to Toronto, I went down by the harbour. I didn't do the beach bit, but I did take a ferry because basically a friend of mine who I used to work with, she was going to happen to be in Canada the same time that I was, but she was staying with her relatives, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Canada, Toronto is a little bit like in England, where you although it might be considered like you're all in the city, but you've got different zones of the city, so like different suburbs. And so she was staying a bit further out, but I was actually staying right in the centre because my friend lived by Yonge and Dundas, so it was right in the centre. And my friend was living sort of like almost in the suburbs, sort of. So she took a train into the centre and we met. And on the day that we sort of got together, I think we met twice during the holiday because the film festival was there at the time. So we went to see a film with Zach Braff, the guy from Scrubs. The guy from Scrubs. Right. And he was doing a film called Kiss Me Something with Rachel Bilson, I think it was with. And so when we went to one of the cinemas that it was playing, he was actually in sort of sitting around with us watching the film. And I remember when the film finished and he came out, my friends Annie was going, Zach, it's Anne-Marie from London. Like, I was laughing so much.
As if he's going to turn around.
Oh, I was laughing so much.
So Minnie's asked you, did you go to the beaches? That's what we call the boardwalk and the shops along the area. Or did you just go to the docks that are the downtown? I
believe it probably was the docks downtown. Although there were some posh shops down there. Because I only went on my own because while I was there for the 3 weeks, my friend was actually working. And her daughter was at uni. So, but she didn't stay at uni. It was a uni that she didn't live too far from. So she stayed at home. She didn't stay on campus. So, from what I remember, because it was walkable, so I walked to the harbour, and there was like loads of posh shops down there, but there wasn't a beach there that I could see. So I'm assuming it was the downtown one.
Does that all sound familiar to you, Minnie? Okay, so you went to the harbour front. That's downtown. They have nice shops.
Yeah, they were all posh shops like Gucci and whatever else was down there.
Cool.
Yeah, so they all were all.
When
like,
did you go? So just to put it in context,
Because
because the thing is, as well, because Kelly went a while ago, so it probably has changed a lot since you last went. And just after that, Sienna, we are going to get to your question. You've asked us what we're going to do on the weekend.
I think it would have been early 2000. So we're talking about. Because did I have the flat? So I'm thinking maybe 2005, because we'd already met by that point.
Yeah. So you look 2005. So it was a while
2005,
ago.
2006, something like that. I think. I went there. Yeah, sort of roughly around that time.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about. Toronto is the city I'm in.
Yeah, I love it down there. Like I said, it's one of my favorite cities. And if somebody said to me, "What city do you want to go to?" it would be a choice of Toronto or Barcelona.
But you know what, Ashraf, it would be good. One day we will go there.
Yeah.
We'll have to meet you up if we're there.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll meet you up if we go to, because you really loved it, didn't you?
Yeah, because I have said to you before, let's go, but I think you were more of a mind maybe to do one of the other places, because sometimes we miss the other places. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes we miss Florida, or sometimes we miss Vegas.
Minnie asked you, did you go to the CN Tower?
Yes, I went to the one with the glass floor. Do you know what? I'm not afraid of heights. I've got a bit of vertigo, and sometimes I am afraid of heights, because sometimes I can get a bit woo, but I'm not as much as Mark.
Yeah, I can't stand heights.
And we went up, and they had, at that point, I don't know if they've made it any bigger, but they have like a square bit of glass where you can actually see down, and you can actually stand on it. And Anne-Marie went and stood on it. She was a bit afraid, and I sort of like put my foot against it, and I was just really afraid. I just thought, oh my god. But yes, I did. If that's the one I'm thinking of, then yeah, I did do that.
Minnie said the same thing. I'm scared to go up. I'm afraid of heights, but I would like to try it one day. Well, do you know what, actually, Minnie, I'm very much the same, nervous of heights. And actually, I do want to go up Tower Bridge in London, because Tower Bridge, actually, they've done the same thing. There's a walkway, and the whole base of it is glass. So you can actually look right down into the Thames, or across, and all the trucks and across the bridge as they go, cars, trucks, whatever. So conquering your fear is difficult. So to try and conquer my fear, I walked over the O2 with Kelly's cousin. So the O2 is the big dome in London. And in Greenwich, that's right. And you could actually walk over it. The Millennium Dome, so we did do that, but going up there, because you're gradually going out, and I remember your cousin turned to me and went, "Oh Mark, this is high. This is really high,"
because he's afraid of heights as well. I do get a bit nervous, but I'm not as bad as, let's say, Mark and my cousin Steph. But I will go and do them. I may not put my foot on the glass bit, but the other thing that because I'm just trying to think, what did I do? Because I only really did the touristy things when I met up with my friend. But the friend that I stayed with, we didn't do too many touristy things. We just did the general everyday things, like going shopping and cooking and things like that. Sometimes I went to the cinema quite a few times. And I would just take myself off, or I'd go to bookshops. I mean, I loved just walking around, and Is
it good though? There's a lot to walk about and see.
Do you know, it's very similar to New York, except nicer.
Oh, you preferred it to New York?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
100% preferred it to New York. Yeah. It is.
I like New York. I thought it was good. What was better about Toronto than New York, in your opinion?
I just think it wasn't as claustrophobic, and it isn't as I I felt like with, don't get me wrong, I do like New York. I love it. I really do enjoy New York, but there's something about Toronto that is very different to New York, and I find that the people are nicer. I'm not saying that the people in New York are horrible or anything else, but it's not that. I think, do you know what it is? I think the heat in New York tends to agitate a lot of people, because you've got the streets and you've got the avenues, and when you go to the streets, they're quite claustrophobic, they're quite closed in, and it's only when you get to the avenues that they're open out and you can actually see sky in the air and all of that type of stuff. But in Toronto, I didn't feel that.
So Minnie said, to help with my fear, which didn't do much, I was tree top trekking is one of the zip line. Yes, I know. We were going to do that in Mauritius. Did you enjoy it? Was it good? And Sienna said, can you give us a tour of our garden?
I can't, because it's all plugged in.
We're all plugged in,
yeah,
Sienna.
so I can't take you around.
But if I...
Sienna, you've been into the garden.
Yeah, you've seen our garden.
You've been in our garden.
You, actually, when we had the barbecue many years ago, you were actually there, right in the middle.
Yeah.
There. That's where you
Getting
were.
everyone to pick you up and swing you around.
Me to pick you up and swing you around. How's your KFC? Is she going to tell me about this KFC? Are you going to tell me what you had? You haven't told me what you had. I'm guessing chips. It's going to be one of them.
I think as well, what I liked was that the film festival was there. You know, they had Young and Dundas. They were doing free concerts, so you could go down and enjoy a concert, things like that.
Bless. So she said, I cried the entire way. So that's on the zip line.
Oh no!
But I had a fun time while crying. Do you know? Do you know what though?
I'm like, oh my god.
To be fair, that's really brave of you. Because do you know what?
So brave.
When we went to Vegas, do you remember they had zip lines right across
in Mardi Gras?
You know the way.
Oh no, you're talking about the link. Yeah.
Yeah, in the link.
But they also had zip lines in where they do in the old Vegas near the Golden Nugget. They had zip lines there.
I'll tell you a funny story. Near where I used to live years ago, they actually had a bungee there. And they had to move it because the residents complained because so many people were swearing as they were jumping down from they go, right. I won't say but what they were saying, but they would swear. So they had to remove it. But I know what you mean. We were when we went to Mauritius, we were going to do. They had a zip line there. Your friend Evelyn did it.
Yeah,
she did it.
Oh yeah, she did it with my other friend. Yeah,
I was too chicken to do it, but that's really.
But I
impressive.
did parasailing.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did parasailing when I was in Mauritius.
So on the boat. I tried to film you, but you were so far out.
Yeah.
They really took you far out to sea. Kelly was this tiny little dot. Minnie's a friend of ours. You've asked this last time.
Yeah, you asked this last time. You asked that on Tuesday.
Minnie's a friend of ours on YouTube.
How's
your KFC? You still haven't told me about your KFC.
I did the parasailing. So me and my friend, me and my bestie Eve, we decided to do parasailing. So we went on the boat and they took us out, and then they strap you up to this what you call it, parachute, and you all of a sudden you get lifted off the boat and you go so high, but the sea looked like sapphire. It was just so
really blue, wasn't it?
It was really blue, and it was so peaceful, and I didn't feel like sick or anything like that, or like, but it was amazing. It was really, really good. I would 100% do it again. 100% do it again. I really enjoyed it. I loved it.
Yeah, Kelly had Auntie Kelly had
McDonald's.
He's
already told you that.
I know. But you still haven't told me about your KFC.
But I would definitely do parasailing again. I don't know if you would do it. Would you do it?
Do you know what? I would give it a go. I don't know if you've ever done it, Minnie, but obviously that's where you're on the back of a boat, and as it moves along, you've got a parachute and lifts you right up into the.
Yeah, because you're in a seated position, so you're on the back of the boat and you're sitting down, and you have your legs out, and then it lifts you up out the sea, and you're like, oh my god! But then I was worried about coming back down, and I can't even remember how I came back down, actually.
I think you just naturally drift because it's a parachute.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the one thing I really wanted to do, which we never did, they had these really long...
Oh, those boats, those banana boats.
Yeah, those really long inflatable boats. So the idea is you'll sit on these things, and the speedboat, which you're sitting on...
You wouldn't like that.
The speedboat jettons, of course, it then drags you behind, and then it just speeds you across, and then it changes directions. The idea is you you kind of do this arc. So your floating thing just goes round and
Oh
round.
no, but the banana boat is when
No,
it's a
that's the
long one,
No,
and
no,
you're
no, no.
like this.
This is the one that you're
as
just
it's dragging you.
It's
Oh,
almost,
you're just like in like, almost like a lazy river ring.
yeah, almost like
Yeah.
an inflatable,
Ring, yeah,
But
yeah.
the ones they have is like an inflatable sofa. So the idea is you just sat
Right,
there, and
I
then
see.
you see, and then it would just drag you, so you can't fall out because you're actually strapped in.
Mm.
But they would just drag you at high speed. That was really good. So me, I would try it. My goal was to help ease my fear of heights.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what actually, Minnie? What helped me was doing that O2 challenge. And what was really good about it is because you go up gradually, but because you're in a group with other people, you either kind of all do it together. And I think the other thing that helped me was the fact going with your cousin, because he's afraid of heights. So the two of us did it together.
Yeah.
And that really helped. So we went bit. It just made me laugh when he turned to me and went, "Oh, Mark, this is high. This is really high." And I was just laughing because it's the way you said it. But we got nervous, but once we got to the top, and it's not massively high, it's not skyscraper high, but then it is high, and you had this really nice view, and you did feel like you accomplished something.
Yeah.
But you know what you were saying earlier about fear of flying, because I've got a huge fear of flying. I don't like it at all. The bit I don't like is the takeoff, because and it's that bit where you're doing this and further back, and you just think to yourself, it's a really unnatural position. Once you're in the sky and you're flat, it's fine. I mean, I'm relaxed then. But then the bit I really hate, well, apart from the landing, is turbulence. Turbulence really freaks me out, especially somebody.
Yeah, I don't like the turbulence.
I hate turbulence.
I don't. It doesn't send me into panic or anything like that.
I think it's that fear of loss of control, because you've got absolutely no control.
Yeah,
right there.
I think I've only had anxiety once on a plane, but it was just a unnatural anxiety that came over me.
Wasn't then that our Vegas flight, was it? That was terrible.
No, there wasn't even anything happening.
Oh.
And I just felt like anxious. Yeah. Oh. But that's the only time that I can remember when I felt uncomfortable on a flight. Don't get me wrong, I worry like everyone when you land and when you take off and things like that, but not to the point where it makes me very nervous or anything like that.
No, I mean, like I said, I'm not nervous enough that it will stop me flying. I just hate the experience. Because whenever they take off, they always turn around to you and they say, "Enjoy your flight." And I thought, what's enjoyable about this? I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm just going to want it over and done with.
I don't mind the flight. I think in my mind, it's like doing a shift at work. So it's like,
well, yeah, 8 hours.
Yeah, 8 hours, right? So to me, that's how I look at flights. So either it's a shift at work or it's a double shift. So I think to myself, I'll download a couple of films. I'll watch a couple of films. Mark and I will download the same film sometimes, and we'll watch it at the same time. By the time food comes, or we enjoy a little snack or whatever, I do a few arrow words, and then boom.
Well, I think you're talking long haul, aren't you? So you don't, with the short haul flights, like we remember. So when we got to the States and we go from one place to the other, which is like a 2-3 hour flight, you don't get the in-flight entertainment as much.
Yeah.
So that bit, I think you feed it more as well, because the aircraft's a little smaller. So it fills the air pockets a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that when we go to places like Lanzarote, where it's only 4 hours, again, I bring a little snack with me or whatever. Or sometimes, I don't even bother really having breakfast at the airport, maybe. Or no, maybe we do.
Minnie's the same. She said long haul flights kill me, but I managed to do one in 2023. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, because you've got your big trip planned. So what is it about the flying you don't like? Are you the same as me? Is it the takeoff and the turbulence and the landing bit, or is there something else to it? Because I think the landing bits, do you know what, actually the landing bit for me is not so bad, because you actually feel the plane coming down. I don't like when it drops down, but when it's gradually getting down, it's the takeoff for me, because you actually...
I think it depends on the pilot, doesn't it, really? Because that determines on what type of flight that you have, to be honest. I just like the whole... Yeah, Do
you know what? Sorry, just to stop you there. I was going to say, Minnie, one thing that helped me, and I don't know if it will help you, is there's some really good YouTube videos, actually, by a pilot. And there's a pilot, he talks about turbulence and stuff like that. And what he said really helped me, because what he said was that he said, look, don't worry about turbulence. Don't worry about turbulence at all. Because he said the only thing that could ever bring a plane down is a cumulonimbus cloud, which is a massive, massive, massive cloud. But he said a pilot will avoid it like anything. If it was a case that he had no option but to fly through a cumulonimbus cloud, he would just cancel the flight. And so basically that's it. So what he's basically saying is just don't. You shouldn't worry about it. And that did help me a lot. I don't like the takeoff and the turbulence, but the landing doesn't really bug me. Yeah, you're exactly the same as me. I think it's that natural position of just going back that way. Sienna, Mark, what's your favourite colour? Have a guess. Have a guess what my favourite colour is. I know what you're going to say, and you're going to be right. But I do wear this colour a lot. My favourite colour.
I think, like I said, nothing. I'm getting all these bugs on me.
Yeah, you'll notice that we'll be doing this a lot. It's because we're not gone mad. It is actually the
there's like little bugs.
There's loads of spiders and bugs around here. I think they're from that tree actually behind us.
Do you think?
This one.
Oh.
That one to the left of us. Well, right, or whichever way you're facing. But yeah, do watch that. I'll see if I can send you the link actually, because that really helped me, because he really talked it through, and he's saying what you think is bad turbulence, which is like if the plane just, I think, oh, this is really bad turbulence. A pilot registers that as minimal turbulence. They said you'll be absolutely surprised what constitutes high turbulence. It's really high. It's where the whole plane moves. But he said most turbulence they do is what they call mild turbulence.
Right.
And they said the plane is actually built so the wings can actually almost go up vertically. It's that solid. So he said it's very.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think what helped me maybe, which is maybe what the difference is between the two of us, is I flew a lot when I was little.
Yeah, I didn't.
See, because we were always going back and forth to Mauritius, or we were flying to France. So I think for me, that's perhaps why I don't feel the same about flying as the average person. Look at that fly on my trousers.
You want me to shake it off?
Yes.
I knew that was
Mark is drying clothes in the conservatory because obviously it's quite hot. So to dry the clothes quicker, you know, we can just put the clothes in the conservatory. And I'm thinking, oh my god, there's a fly on my trousers. Mark's got to shake it off. Oh my god. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I think because I flew a lot, and you know, I was very young because the family still lived in Mauritius. So my dad's family, like my dad's immediate family, mum, dad, brothers, and all that, were in Mauritius. And then my mum's extended family, because her mum and dad were here and her sisters were here, but the extended family, so aunts and uncles and all that, were in Mauritius. So we would fly back and forth quite often to see my family, and then we also got family in France. So again, we would fly to France because, you know, when I was young, you didn't have things like the Eurostar. You had things like to get the boat over to France.
Oh god.
But we used to go to Paris, so we weren't going to the other places in France. So we would tend to fly, and yeah, and I flew a lot when I was younger. So maybe that is why I don't have the same fears about flying that you do.
Well, actually, I was going to ask, one thing we were thinking about one day is doing a cruise. So
yes,
we want to know, have any of you guys done a cruise? Have you done a boat trip cruise or similar to? So whether it be a ferry, whether it be a proper cruise, whether it be I don't know, some form of boat trip. And if you did you enjoy it? What was it like? So just purely we want to know, because that's what we're thinking about doing potentially. Where we would go, I don't know. We would probably go somewhere, but well, obviously go somewhere.
Yeah.
But I just want to know about the experience, how that was, how you liked it.
My mum did a cruise and she absolutely loved it, but she got a cabin. Because I said to mums, oh yeah, did you get a cabin with a balcony? She got a cabin with no window, nothing, just a room, just like a dark room,
like a closet.
Yeah, I was like, no, that would not be me. If we're going to go on a cruise, I need one that is with a balcony, so I can sit there if I'm going to have breakfast in my room, sit there, I have breakfast on the balcony with a cup of tea, or whatever, or my drink or my orange juice, and I'm going to sit down, I'm going to see the sea and the thing, and I just think that would be lovely.
Well, Minnie says she hasn't, and it's so you're in the same boat as us. Pardon the pun. But yeah. Well, because that's what I wanted to know. I've done boat trips like ferries.
Yeah, I've done catamarans and ferries and stuff like that.
I didn't like those because you really feel the sea. So you're
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, when I've done boats to go to France or whatever, I don't really feel it. The catamaran was a bit smaller.
yeah.
Yeah, you feel it, but again, though they never worried me really. So I think, but because the ship is so big, I don't think you would feel the buoyancy as much as
Well,
you would.
That's what I wondered, because
Yeah.
that's what I really am interested about. Would you? Because somebody actually said, funny enough, a few people at my workplace have gone, and they said the same thing. You don't feel the buoyancy.
Yeah.
They said you don't feel it be really, really choppy. He said, well, unless of course the sea is really, really.
My only criticism about doing a cruise is at each stop you only get a few hours.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. I would like to spend more time at each port. So let's say it might be a day or two at each destination, because if when I go somewhere, I want to see. Don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about I want to see the whole island or the whole country or this, but to experience, to go out for dinner, to go to some shops, to see how the people are and all of that. Then you get back on the boat and you go to your next destination for a couple of days and all of that type of stuff. That is the sort of thing I would like. But I think, if obviously you can't get, well, I don't know of any boats that do that sort of thing, but if we were to do a trip, I think we would maybe begin with the cruise but end with a holiday.
Yeah, do you know what? Actually, for me, the journey isn't the best thing about the holiday, and actually, for me, it's the necessary evil to get there. So that's what puts me off with the cruise. I do wonder if I actually really enjoy the journey part of it. I want to basically, what I'm saying is I want to have an end destination.
Yeah.
With a cruise, of course you do get one, but whether or not it's better just to have the journey, that journey, and then you come back, or would you, like you say, have a proper end destination? I wouldn't fancy just having an hour in port and then moving on, or whatever it is.
I often wonder with a boat whether it would be 24 hours. You know, like when you go to Vegas, it's 24 hours. So because obviously we would have jet lag at the beginning of the holiday.
Yeah.
When we went to Vegas, if we can't sleep at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, we'll just go downstairs, and we might have a flit on the machines, or go and do or see whatever. So I think, would that be the same as a cruise? So could you come downstairs and go in a shop, or could you come downstairs and enjoy your drink in a bar or restaurant until you feel sleepy to be able to go back to bed?
Well, that's interesting actually, because the difference with a flight is basically you've gone all that way in a few space of hours, and that's why you get jet lag. I'm not sure you get boat lag.
But what I mean to say is, when you're on the boat, right, you're still crossing from one zone to the other.
No, you are, but you're doing it. That's what that was what my question was going to be. Is because you're doing it at a much slower pace, so you're actually doing it. I don't want to use the term real time, but you're actually doing it at a very much slower rate. So would you have that same? I suppose you would, because you're changing time zones.
Yeah, you're changing time zones, so you will still get a type of sleep deprivation.
Yeah, you would do. Yeah,
you wouldn't all of a sudden be gradual. You're not changing hour by hour gradually for the next 7 days or whatever till you get to the States or wherever it is that you're going to go to.
Well, again, I suppose it depends where you're cruising as well. If you're staying in roughly the same time zones, then it's not going to make much difference.
Yeah, if you were going to do a trip in Europe, then yes,
hour ahead.
Yeah, so then you're never going to feel any type of lag per se. But if you were doing like a proper boat, like with Mum, she did. She went around the Caribbean, so obviously,
lovely.
Yeah, she went to all different sort of islands and things like that. She really, really enjoyed it. So I think I would like to do something similar, but then my end trip ending up, you know me, Florida. So maybe ending up
Caribbean into
yeah,
Florida. Well,
yeah.
actually, in fact, you could do actually because it's in the
Yes.
same vicinity.
Yeah, but even so, you could still do like a trip that still takes you to different, maybe to the Bahamas or something like that,
Yeah.
and then end up, Miami, all of that type of thing, and then end up at,
Yeah.
um, there you
Bug.
go.
Got me bug.
End up at, you end up in Florida.
Yeah.
I think that would be quite cool. Um, and I've heard a lot of people talk about a Disney cruise.
What's that?
Well, it's a Disney cruise. It's as it sounds. They do Disney themed cruises.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it'd just go to Disney locations.
No,
but
Disney
yeah.
themed cruise.
So it's actually almost like Disneyland floating on the water.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
I'm with you.
But I haven't watched any. Maybe that's the one. Oh, maybe I'll watch that later. I'll go
We'll
on
do some
YouTube
research.
and then and have a look. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely in my lifetime like to experience one. That's the cruise that I wanted to do as a
Oh, there
kid.
you are.
Right, okay.
You wanted to do the
Disney one. See, I think that would be quite a fun cruise to do.
Yeah.
Is to do a Disney cruise. I mean, I've known couples to do that sort of thing, and they go and they really enjoy it. I don't know how my mum, but my mum would do it. She would if I said to her, "Oh yeah, do you want to come with us? We're going to do a cruise," and
Would
she
you go
would.
on a Disney tour with us?
She would go because she would want to go and see the different islands that it takes you to. Yeah. And she would like, but what my mum likes is that everything is on the boat. So the entertainment is, and then you can just go upstairs to bed. You don't have to walk to here. You don't have to walk to there and then walk back to the hotel, whatever. She likes everything in the one place. So if the entertainment is downstairs, she can go downstairs. She can see the entertainment. She can do this. She can do that, and then go upstairs to bed. Whereas with me, I'm thinking, oh, I can just go and sunbathe on the deck, or I can go to all the different restaurants, or you can go to all the different shops. I would really enjoy that. I think I would really enjoy it.
Well, actual fact, talking of being in the same place, because we were looking at doing the Disney hotels at one stage. So the ones,
yes.
So the ones that are actually in Florida. So you obviously those hotels are linked to the parks. So the idea would be that everything's in the one place. You'd have all your entertainment there, and then you can walk. It's a short walk then to one of the parks.
Yeah.
Is it to Epcot? Or is
I can't
Magic
remember
Kingdom?
which one. I think Contemporary. Is it Contemporary is a short walk to Epcot. One of them is a short walk to.
Wasn't it along the river sort of area?
Well, they built a bridge sort of thing, so you can then it's a short walk.
Listen to what Minnie said. Go to YouTube, the Tim Tracker, if you want to see the Disney cruise.
That's who I
Teddy
follow.
watches.
That I
He's
watch,
really good.
Yeah, I
he
watch
is
all, and they obviously now Jackson's been bored and all of that, and so they were doing a couple of video. They were doing a video a couple of weeks ago where I think there was a pop-up store in one of the shops, and they bought all their cruising luggage so that they can be ready, so that as soon as I think they've actually booked onto a cruise actually, but they don't know obviously if the cruise is going to go ahead, but they've actually booked onto one ready to wait. But I haven't seen their cruise video actually.
We'll watch that. We'll have to have a look at that
because they would have done that before Jackson was born.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Yeah, so I would like to see, but I've not watched it, so I know I'll have to go back and see how that is. But yeah, I do follow. It's funny because I watch Tim and Jen all the time.
Yeah, because I love their channel too, and their son is so cute. What's I gonna? Oh, Sienna's asking what we're doing for the weekend.
I think we're gonna go to a couple of restaurants. I think that's what we're planning. There is one that I am planning for tomorrow. We were supposed to book the in fact, I'll book it tonight. I'll see if we can book it tonight because I think we have to book and pay before we go.
Okay.
So I will look into that tonight and see if they got it.
If we're able to do it, we will film it so you can see it.
Yes, because it's a really interesting restaurant. So I hope they still have some places, but it's a really interesting restaurant, and I really do want to film it. So I will make sure I've charged up all the batteries and everything else.
Yeah, we'll make sure we're ready to go. So we
good to go.
You've still got to put the curry on, haven't you?
Oh yes, yeah. I haven't done that. I haven't even because I put your one up yesterday.
On my waffles one.
The waffles one, and like I said, Mark gave me one bite and then ate the rest. And yeah, so I will. Yeah, because I was talking to Minnie about it
Oh, really?
on the
Oh,
email.
did you
yeah.
watch it? Did you watch it, Minnie?
On yeah, sorry, I've answered one of her comments on the thing, and Mark commented on it as well.
Oh,
yeah,
did he?
yeah, he did, bless him. So yeah, I think we're thinking about going to, but I'm going to see if I can get a booking tonight, so I'll go online. But if not, we'll go and probably do something else.
Yeah.
We'll choose another restaurant and go to another restaurant. But it is a good idea now to do all bookings. So
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
yeah. So I'll do that tonight. I've got a couple of restaurants in mind, but there's one specific one I want to go to. And I went to have a look when I was in London yesterday. I went to have a look to see where it was, and it wasn't in the place where I thought it was going to be. So I was like,
Oh,
oh,
good job you checked that out. Otherwise,
yeah.
you wandering all around trying to look
But
for it.
now I realise where it is. It's near. Do you remember I told you about those flats in Covent Garden where I would love to live?
Oh, right.
It's right near there. It's right
okay,
near there.
okay.
Mm.
For anybody that is interested in doing, sinners going swimming and having a barbecue.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Make sure you don't do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get really wet, that barbecue. For anybody that's interested in doing the waffle bits or if you've got a choice between the waffles and the pancakes, they're both nice. The pancakes are easier. The bit for those waffles that got me was the fact that when I read the instructions, I got 3 bowls. So you got dry ingredients, wet ingredients, the egg whites. So you've got to do it. It's the pancakes are easier to make, but they both tasted great.
Yeah. I think it just depends on how much patience and preparation you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I haven't done anything for a little while, but cooking wise. But yesterday I did some chocolate covered strawberries. I didn't do the marble effect ones though, minis. That's why I didn't bother filming it. Yeah, you can get some if you want to.
Oh yeah, you can see what Penny's done.
I brought some tissue, so we've got some tissue here. So basically, I was meeting some friends for dinner, some friends who I haven't seen for a while. So what I did was I had bought some strawberries, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do some I wanted to do some candied strawberries, but when I attempted it I think I attempted to do them on Wednesday. I was trying to do some candied strawberries, but it failed because I didn't have the heat high enough in order to do the candy to do the sugar. So that was an epic fail. So then yesterday I decided, you know what, I'm going to go and visit some of my girlfriends. Let me do some chocolate covered strawberries. But there's only, well,
but somebody's at them all.
Yeah, of course. There's only 3 left of the chocolate covered strawberries, which are there, as Mark is showing you.
But Kelly's came out really, really good.
So there were others because I did do white chocolate as well, because you can see the remnants. I don't know of the white chocolate.
I don't think I had any of these.
No, of course you didn't, except for last night.
Oh, did I? Oh god, I've had quite a few actually. There you go. So if you can see there's a little base. So she's dipped them actually in the strawberries, which is quite nice. And then you've got the very crispy clear.
Do you want some tissue?
Yes, please. Thank you. So I'll just show you the other end.
Oh, that's where they were sitting. So that's what creates the foot. So if you do these and you set them down, you will get a foot like this. But if you want to, you can just do them on a stick, on a popsicle stick, or what do you call it, a toothpick stick, and you can dip them that way so that they don't, and then stick them standing up so that they don't create that foot.
Yeah, Minnie said she would do the pancakes first. The thing is with the pancakes, like I say, you do need a waffle iron, so you'd have to get yourself one of those. The other thing, of course, is the problem is with the waffle iron is one thing I didn't do in the video thoroughly, which I should have done, is spray it with oil, because it did. The first one did stick a little bit. The second one was okay. But you must put these on actually onto YouTube to show how you do them, because they are.
Yeah, I've done it.
Oh, you have done?
Yeah. I did one.
She's got it all over there. That's really good actually. No, they're really good.
It's the candied strawberries that I haven't done.
Do you know what? Actually, but the one thing I would say is go for the good quality chocolate. It really does add to the strawberries.
Yeah,
That's delicious.
I did Calabo chocolate, which is what I put in the video anyway. So I do say that it's Calabo chocolate, but it's so nice.
That's melting. That is really, really good.
And Mark ate all the chocolate out of the bowl.
I did, yeah. There was loads of chocolate in the bowl. And what I was doing actually, because obviously I come down early for work, and I thought, well, Kelly won't notice it if I just take a bit, and I take a little bit, and I took a little bit, and then there was this tiny bit left, and I thought, well, I might as well just have the lot. So I just finished it off. I thought I'll take the wrath. There you go. That's the last one.
You can have it, darling.
No. I'm just showing the last.
No, it's fine.
Which split?
No, because I've got some more strawberries. I'll do some more.
Oh, happy then. Well, if that case, I don't feel guilty.
That's the white chocolate, darling.
Oh, okay.
So I've got some more. So yeah. So basically, there were some chocolates. Well, there was the remnants of the dipping chocolate left in one bowl. Anyway, I went upstairs to get changed, and all I could hear was this scraping of a bowl. And I thought, right, well, I know what's happening there.
We got mice.
Yeah. And some mouse, not mice, mouse had eaten, or well, the bowl wasn't even there because the bowl was already squirreled away into the dishwasher.
I thought if I can wash it all off, I'll destroy the evidence.
Huh. So some mouse, had eaten the milk chocolate, the dipping, what was left of the dipping chocolate, and then had started on the white chocolate. Anyway, I then went out and all of that. I think we're a bit now blurry because you had showed the.
Oh, sorry, that's my fault. I think it's gonna.
No, it's not gonna focus. But sorry if we're a bit blurry, but that's because Mark held up the tray, so it might take a little while for it to register again. But yeah, so then I went off because what I did, I did some chocolate covered strawberries for my friends. So I think I gave them like 6 each. And I gave one to my bestie. She put it in, she screwed it away in her bag. Then I gave one to my other best friend, and she ate them there and then. There and then she waxed them off. And then
so did your mum?
When my mum came, she was just anyway. So then my other friend, she started eating them at the at the Ivy. She must have had 2 at the Ivy.
And then, get them in the Ivy.
Yeah, she ate 2 because Grace ate them in TGI Fridays. She just waxed them off in one go. Oh, I'm really hungry. Rach had 2 in the Ivy. She would have eaten them all, though, to be fair, because she wanted to eat them all. But then when she got home later on that night, she put them in the fridge. They're probably gone now.
Oh yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
They are really good. I've got to say, Kelly's ones are really good.
But I did 3 white chocolate and 3 milk chocolate. I was going to do the dark chocolate, but I'm not really a dark chocolate lover. But because I had left it so late, I just had to quickly do it and then bung them in the fridge, because really you can leave them to sit in the fridge, but you've got to really be careful of condensation, because condensation can be quite prominent when you're doing chocolate strawberries.
Do you know what? I did notice actually on the base there's condensation.
That's weeping from the strawberries.
Ah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's just that's the actual strawberry juice.
Oh, I'm with you.
Right, not the actual condensation.
I did notice actually when I was doing the strawberry sauce for the waffles as well, the amount of liquid that comes out of the strawberries. I didn't add any water to that. That was all natural.
Yeah, while I'm watching and chatting, I'm also animating right now.
Wow, Minnie.
And he's coming along with strawberries. Looks so good. Oh.
Wow, you multitask.
Multitasking, I know. While you're doing the thing.
I've really ruined the what do you call it? The focus.
The focus,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
That's my fault now. I think it's because the light's starting to go down as well.
Yeah, as well, a little bit. But what we did was so when I was doing the strawberries, I give them sort of like an apple cider vinegar bath with cold water, and I let that soak for about 10 minutes. That's just to get rid of all the pesticides and everything else. Then I drain it, and then I rinse them off, And then I have to dry each single individual strawberry, and then I put them on a tray, a wire rack. I put paper towel down on the wire rack, and then I put the strawberries on, and then I leave them for about an hour, just to so that they can properly dry off and everything else. Because when you dip them in the chocolate, they have to be bone dry. And because I didn't do it the first night, I just thought, oh, do you know what, it's getting too late now. I then had to put them in the fridge, but then they condensate. So when I took them out, I had to repat them down again and all of this, and then leave them and all of that. But they really have to be bone dry in order to dip them. So if you do decide to do chocolate covered strawberries, and I do highly recommend that you do, because they taste absolutely gorgeous.
They do.
Then make sure that they're bone dry, and try, I mean, different people have different theories on pesticides, because some people think, oh yeah, you should eat them so that your body's defenses can up. I don't agree, but that's just me. So I get all the pesticides off and stuff first, and then dry them, or rinse them, dry them off, aerate them for about an hour, and then I start. And I was telling my friends this, and I go, oh my god, there's so much but it's true. You know, when I was drying them off one by one, I thought, god, why am I doing this? Is it like really worth it? Because people are going to just hoover them in 5 seconds, but that you just like naturally eat them.
But I think, like you say, you get out of it what you put in, and Kelly does. She meticulously dries each individual strawberry, then dunks them in the chocolate, then you let it set onto the tray. And I think that it does, though. It makes a world of difference. Oh, Minnie said she'll send us the finished results. I'll be looking forward to see the animation. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because I haven't shown you the other one.
You haven't.
Because I haven't shown the most recent one.
Oh, I'll have a look at that. You're actually animating it as well.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's impressive.
So yeah, so when I was doing all these strawberries, I think to myself, right, I like to do them, and I like to do like different toppings and stuff like that. So I was doing like plain ones, and then I did sort of like ones with crunchy sugar on, and then ones with hundreds and thousands on. The only thing I didn't do this time round was I didn't do honeycomb, because on the last batch I actually did honeycomb. So on the video you actually see me do honeycomb.
Yeah. And you did the sprinkles as well, didn't you? The hundreds and thousands of sprinkles.
Yeah, so I did all of them, but this time I didn't do the honeycomb. I just did the sprinkles. But it really gives, when you do the hundreds of thousands and the sort of like pink sugar or the rose gold sugar or whatever, it really gives it that nice crunch.
Yeah,
it gives it just that different dimension. It
is. Do you know what, actually, it is that thing as well. Don't get me wrong, on its own the chocolate is delicious, but when you've got these little bits on top, you have, it's just a different texture. It's really nice, and also it does give another flavor.
Yeah,
because if you've got little bits of, like you say, honeycomb in it, you get the chocolate, you get the strawberry, and you get the honeycomb as well, and that is nice. It's got nice crunchy flavor to it.
I think I mean, my cousin's wife was saying to me the other day, you should do one with nuts. And do you know what? I did contemplate it, but her son is allergic to nuts.
Yeah.
So now I tend to not do things with nuts. And we're not allergic to nuts at all. But for some reason, I now tend not to.
You'd have to really crush it up into a powder. Otherwise, it'd be great big chunks on it.
Yeah. So, well, I don't think it would be bad having little bits of chunks of nuts. You would just have to sort of I'd have to
chocolate and then dip it all in, and that would be really nice.
I'll have to think about that, and sort of do that. But I like sort of the actual dipping of the chocolate and everything else. Isn't too much work. It's the prep that is the work. That is the too much work.
But I think that's a lot with a lot of recipes as well.
Yeah, it's the prep part.
Yeah, those waffles as well. The prep for it. Well, it's not actually. It's not as much as the strawberries, but it's just so much faff about mixing all those different things together. But they are worth it. They do taste really nice.
But this is what I think. I think the more love you put into something, the better the results.
Oh yeah, totally.
So if you are just going to throw something together, it's going to taste nice, but it won't taste as nice as the love that you put into something, or the want to put into something. So when I do something, sometimes what puts me off doing that, so then I start to get a bit lazy, in the sense that I think, oh god, it's going to take all that work and I just really don't want to do it, and blah blah blah. because I'm gonna have to do this, and I'm gonna have to do that, and I'm gonna have to do this. And I bought some strawberries last week, and I looked at them at the best before day, and it was just the next day before the best before day, and they'd all gone off, and I was so upset. And I just thought, right, so this time when I went and bought the strawberries, I just washed them straight away. Straight away, I gave them the bath and all this, because sometimes the pesticides speed up the
aging process.
The aging process, right?
Okay.
So as soon as I bought them this time, I gave them the water bath, the apple cider water bath, and then dried them off, and then I put some tissue in a bowl, and then put some tissue, put some strawberries, some tissue, some strawberries, some tissue, and put them in the fridge, so that any condensation that happened could be soaked up into
wow. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, into the tissue paper, because I knew I wasn't going to do it straight away, and then when I did do it, I would have to take it out of the fridge and let it rest for an hour, so that it can come back up to room temperature, get all the condensation off it and things like that. So it just takes a long time.
Well, I suppose it would. That's the best time to have it, though, isn't it? Straight away when it's fresh. Once you get one rotting one in that pack, the whole lot will go.
Yeah.
The whole lot will go.
And that's the thing. And the thing is, in order to do the covered strawberries, they have to be bone dry, because water and chocolate don't mix.
No.
So they have to be bone dry.
Otherwise, what, it just drops off?
Yeah. Basically, it'll just drop off, and it will turn the chocolate. So funny. The chocolate will turn funny when you add water to it. That's why if you're going to add like a color, if you want to color a chocolate, it needs to be like an oil-based colorant, it's like food coloring, or an oil-based powdered food coloring, because otherwise it's going to turn the chocolate funny. And if you spent lots of money, which, when you buy good chocolate like Calabo or something like that, you don't want to then have ruined it with a non-oil base that might turn the chocolate funny, because then you've wasted all your money and blah blah blah. So your strawberries are expensive, then you got your chocolate that is expensive, and then so you want to do the process correctly when you do it, because otherwise, why do it at all?
Well, the fact that all your friends ate them in the restaurant, didn't even take them home, shows how good they were. And I've got to say, I mean, I'm not just saying this because it's Kelly's. They are delicious. They are really, really good.
Well, Evelyn actually saved hers.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Well, the other two just banged it down.
Yeah. But yeah, and I like the finished results of them. So I needed them to set in the fridge, but I was very worried, and I was very wary of the fact that they might condensate. So I had to so basically I put the white ones in the fridge for about 10 minutes and then took them out, and then I left them in there while I went to get changed and everything else, because I then had to put them in these little mini cupcake cases, so that then I could put them in a little box, and I had bought boxes specially so that I could put them in the box and then bring them to the restaurant and all of that type of stuff. And it was Rachel's birthday on Monday, and God forgive me, I forgot her birthday. I was just like, oh my God.
Well, these things happen. I know it's one of those things, and like you just say, but I know what you mean. I've done that myself, forget people's birthdays.
Oh no, I was just like, oh my God.
You just have to accept it. Just like, I'm really, 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 really sorry. So, but no, she is genuinely sorry.
Yeah, and so I thought, you know what? Let me make these, strawberries and all that. But I also bought her some gin, because I know she loves gin. And Gordon's are doing this sort of like flavored gins. I'm not a gin drinker.
Oh no, but they're all the rage at the moment.
Yeah, like pink gin and all of this gin and that gin. But I mean, gin has always been popular with a lot of people anyway, but for some reason in the last few years gin has become this like amazing sort of like drink to have. I don't like it, but no. I know she does, so I got her the Sicilian lemon one, because I know she likes lemons, and I thought, oh well, Sicilian lemon and gin, she's probably, I didn't know if she liked it. Originally what I wanted to get her was limoncello, but they didn't have any limoncello, so I thought, you know what, let me try this Sicilian gin. So I bought it for her and gave it to her. She's going, oh my God, I've only got this much left in my other bottle, so I'm so glad. I'm so glad you bought me this bottle. I was like, oh, thank God. But yeah, so I picked the right bottle, luckily. But she would have enjoyed the pink gin as well. She likes the pink gin as well. But I wanted to get her something different. But luckily she's only got this much of the lemon one left, then she must really like the lemon one, right? Because there's no point in getting a full bottle of something when if you go to someone's house and they've got that much of something, it's because they really enjoy it, whether it be perfume, whether it be drink or whatever. If they've got that much left of it, it's because they like it. Don't rebuy them a full bottle of whatever, because clearly they're saving that, or they're not really interested in that.
Oh, that's a good analogy. So
Yeah.
basically, like I said, if you spot that they got a tiny bit left, they really like it because they left it there. Unless, of course,
Right.
they've been trying desperately hard to get rid of it.
Something is a half bottle of something or a little bottle of something, whatever it is, it's because they enjoy drinking it, or they enjoy spraying it, or whatever. So that is, so if you're like, I was mentioning this to Minnie the other day because I did a Mother's Day video, and I said, like, if you go to your mum's dressing table and you see 4 bottles of perfume, and you see a couple of bottles that have got only this much of perfume in it, it's because that's the one that they like. So when you go out and you buy them perfume, buy them the one that they like. Don't buy them the full bottles. They've got full bottles, they don't need it. The one that they that do like, where they've been spraying, how much left, you buy them that one. The same translates to, well, drink anything really. If you see them a little bit, that's the one you buy them.
Advice, that's good advice actually, because Father's Day is coming out. I just remembered I've got to go get a Father's Day present.
Yeah, and I remember I've got to do a video, and I'm thinking, oh
yeah, for that. So that's coming up. Well,
yeah,
there we are. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Go on.
No, go on.
I was just thinking, Kokoro.
Oh,
my belly is a rumbling.
He is hungry, so I think we're going to be ending the video, or the live here. Thank you for watching, and we're really happy that you could join us for the live in the garden.
So go on.
No,
I was going to say, so we will do another one on Tuesday. What we're going to try and do is do 2 lives a week this time. We'll see how it pans out as well. Before it either, well, no, I think it'll be good. I think we'll be all right. So we were just thinking, because I know some of you guys struggle to do it on a Friday evening, so we thought we'd do 1 in the week. So we'll do 1 on Tuesday, 1 on Friday, see how it goes, and then we're going to do it for a period. Ask you which you prefer. And I know you're going to both say both. No, but if
it would be both, or I reckon maybe 5
days. Not necessarily. Might say stop it all together.
Yeah, stop it all together. We don't want to do any more lives.
But yeah, we'd see which is best, which you prefer. So that's what we're going to be doing. But as always, I've really enjoyed today. Actually, I really enjoyed doing the live. It's lovely to do it outside.
Yes.
You can see our garden.
Sorry for the
blur. That's my fault.
Blur.
That was my fault. I shan't show food again like that. Here, look, and then it's completely out of focus.
Yeah.
But I also think it's the light that's going.
That could be the case.
Oh, Minnie, thank you. Yeah, you have an amazing weekend too. Everybody have an amazing weekend. I'm really looking forward to Tuesday's chat.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to you guys really make it, and we would love you to join us.
You know what? I really do enjoy doing the lives more than, like I said, more than I like doing the videos. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, you know what? There's something great. We like doing the videos too, but this connects us with you.
Yeah.
And that's what we like to do. So I hope you enjoyed that. We certainly did enjoy doing it. We always look forward to doing the lives with you guys, and we will hopefully hear from you, or you'll see us on Tuesday.
Yes. Anyway, have a good rest of weekend. Have a good rest of the day. Enjoy the weather. And if any of you are having barbecues or anything like that, enjoy it. Why not?
Do enjoy. Really do enjoy. And we'll look forward to speaking to you on Tuesday.
Okay, everyone. Take care. Have fun. You're never too old to have fun.
Yes, exactly. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.